Welcome back to the Daniel Smith Primatek series season 2, and in this episode we are going to be taking a good look at Sedona Genuine. Daniel Smith writes about Sedona Genuine as, for millennia, Sedona has ignited the imagination of every creative spirit fortunate enough to feel its dazzle. Tufts of sagebrush punctuate the ancient sea of sand in quite counterpoint to the soaring red rock sentinels. With color purity cast from a desert crucible, red spires burst on a field of pure cerulean sky, humbling the observator in absolute wonder. This ethereal red connects us to the people who were first mesmerized by the region 11,000 years ago. After our latest trip to the southwest, we knew we had to create paint from Sedona's rocks. Made with authentic rocks from the Arizona desert, this timeless color, light fast, richly pigmented, and absolutely permanent, ties your work to the work of countless generations of southwestern artisans in a way that is demanded to be experienced. We went straight to the source for our newest yet oldest mineral pigment. We can now share the enchantment of the stone with you. Capture the awe, the intensity, and the magic of Sedona. Sedona Genuine is made with natural iron oxides. It is Series 2, excellent in light fastness, semi-transparent, non-staining, and granulating. Welcome back, the paints have dried and this is Sedona Genuine. First impression is that Sedona Genuine is very orangey brown. Of the natural iron oxide paints I've seen, I think this is the most orangey color rather than a red color. And also it granulates very, very heavily. So if you're a granulation fan, this might be a good color for you. I struggled a little bit with the gradation. I do the gradation in 4 stages, and with a good gradating color, you will be able to see 4 different intensity on there. Whereas I would say that this is one intensity, and then this is pretty similar within. That bit does have a little bit more color than this bit, but I mean, in overall, this is pretty much the same. So if you are going to be doing gradations with this color, I recommend putting extra effort into trying to drag the color along. Otherwise you're going to have one chunk of color and then the rest being the same. In terms of hot press, again, like the Minnesota Pipestone, it creates this beautiful texture on hot press paper. And if you want to see this sheet in closer detail, I do upload high-res scans of all my test sheets from all my videos up over on my Patreon, which is patreon.com/Oto Kano. Do check out the test sheet for this because it is beautiful. On rough paper and cold press paper, it granulates heavily. However, with the arch paper, it's a little bit more toned down in the granulation front. So maybe if you want to get heavy granulation, it's worth testing out this paint on the paper you're going to be using it on, because the granulation does change a lot depending on the paper. In terms of transparency, I agree with Daniel Smith that this is semi-transparent. I can see a faint amount of brown on top of the black stripe. In terms of lifting, it was very easy to lift. I got it back to white paper in no time whatsoever. In terms of glazing though, because this is such a heavily granulating color, you don't really see where the lower layer of color has been. So if you want clear layers showing in your glazing, then this isn't the color. However, in terms of putting more color on top of itself, it's not bad. It doesn't lift too badly around the edges when you do the outline, which is interesting considering it lifts so well. So I would say with glazing, in terms of just putting another layer on top of the other, it's okay color to do. It gauzes beautifully and very, very strongly, which is nice to see. Like the Minnesota Pipestone, it doesn't react to salt at all whatsoever. However, different to the Minnesota Pipestone, this one does move through water a lot more. In terms of color mixes, this one was much more high tinting than the Minnesota Pipestone was. If you remember, with the Minnesota Pipestone, you could only create faint, very pale color mixes because of its low tinting strength. This one is a bit better. I absolutely love the mix of Sedona Genuine with the Ultramarine Violet from Schmincke. It's this dusky, just before dawn kind of sky color. So if you do a lot of that kind of painting, then this might be a good color combo for you. I also love the peachiness of the Quinacridone Rose mixed with Sedona. So if you want to add a bit of warmth to your color, not a in-your-face warmth, but a more underlying subtle warmth, then I think this is a good mixing color to use. So what do I think of this color? As much as I'm not super into orangey browns, because you guys know that I still struggle a little bit with orange, even though I am coming around to orange. However, having looked at Minnesota Pipestone earlier, this is by far the more useful color to have on your palette if you are going to have a granulating brown on your palette. It glazes better, it moves through water better if you're into that, and more importantly, it mixes with colors better. It has a much higher tinting strength, and it has a really useful function in adding a subtle warm undertone to any color you mix it with. So I am actually seriously considering adding this color to my palette just for the color mixes ability alone, because I am loving these colors. So what do you think of Sedona Genuine? Do let me know in the comments down below. And if you do use Sedona Genuine in your paint practice already, then do let us know your favorite ways of using this color. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please do give it a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, please do subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!